was rocking the bells for all the people. Oh, I need you bring it on.
I think what inspires us as a group to keep pushing forward and keep releasing music is, I guess it's just, we don't know when to quit. We don't know when enough is enough. We're probably just too stupid to quit and realize that it's not going to happen. We've been doing this going on 15 years and we're still financially in the same place and actually selling less records. So I think a lot of what is inspiring us is just the failure that we have seen.
Yeah, it's basically too late to turn back now.
Exactly. It's like a horrible marriage where, you know, at this point, you're both in your mid-70s, you hate each other, you sleep in separate rooms, it's not going anywhere, the kids are out of college, one of the kids is dead, the other one has a
heroin addiction.
A heroin addiction or something, and at this point, you're 70 years old, and your dick doesn't even get hard anymore. So and you have no money in the bank, so there's not going to be any way that you're going to be able to find a woman to take you in, let alone a friend, because you've got level 3 halitosis, and you can't afford to get the rotten tooth removed. So basically, we keep making music, and that's a metaphor, by the way.
Yeah.
Neither one of us is in our 70s, and at least my dick still gets hard as a goddamn totem pole. I'm saying, music-wise, I just think it's like, what the hell, let's just ride this baby until the wheels fall off, because what else am I going to do? You know, it's all I know.
I tried to go back to school, but, I mean, shit, they're not going to let a 45-year-old guy go back to high school.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
And I applied for a scholarship to Barbizon for modeling, but I didn't meet the height or the weight requirements, and I was about 25 years too old. So I ended up just getting a job at a custodian at their Sunnyvale campus. So, you know, it pays the bills and it helps press up our CDs.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that did hit me that inspired me was when we were in downtown LA, you know, going to one of our shows. I actually was in the crosswalk and got hit by a smart car. And tragically, the driver was killed instantly. So I think that inspired me to, you know, kind of not take my power for granted. You know, I'm a large guy, a mammoth, molten, hot bulk of sexual energy, and I probably should wield that with a little more cautious, you know, sense of responsibility.
On a serious note, one thing that I do like about living in Oakland, California and being a participant in hip-hop music is the diversity. And one of the things that Stretch and I both had to overcome initially when we entered the underground hip-hop scene was the fact that, you know, I'm a white MC and he's grotesquely overweight MC. So a lot of people didn't understand, you know, how we met. You know, clearly we don't have the same diet or exercise regimen, and how can these two guys come together and get into the studio and make such amazing music together when they clearly are not going to both live the same length of life, you know? And I still wake up having nightmares trying to figure out who in the hell is going to help me carry Stretch's casket, because I don't know that many people that have enough upper body strength to, you know, carry that. And that's not a shot at you, it's just the truth.
I realize that once I finally do pass on, you're probably going to have to use my AAA card. You know, that's just the truth. It is what it is, you know. Like I said, he's white, I'm round. It's just, that's just something we had to overcome. And as I said, you know, A lot of people couldn't believe that we could make music together in the same studio at the same time, in the same room.
I had to have a special booth that surrounded Stretch's bed, because when I first met Stretch, he was about 600 pounds heavier than he is now, and he was like the mom in Eating Gilbert Grape. So we had this special plexiglass, what would you call it, almost like the octagon in UFC, with microphones in there, and we got it done that way. And the money that we made off of our first single, Full-Time B-Boy, we actually had a life-size hamster wheel put into the plexiglass octagon, where Stretch got to hop on there, get his cardio up, and shed that extra 700 or 800 pounds.
That extra half ton.
Nothing good is coming out of the commercialization of hip-hop.
Hip-hop has lost a lot of its political emphasis that it might have had in the past.
What can you expect from Foreign Legion in the future? Well, in the near future, you can expect the new album, Night Moves, which is available in all fine online retail outlets.
Amazon,
Best Buy, undergroundhiphop.com,
iTunes,
etc., etc. And then directly after that, with all the money that's been rolling in so far, we've decided we're going to start a nonprofit for young ladies that are dancers that can't afford, the equipment. The good feather boas, the extra sturdy, clear heels, lubrication,
stain-resistant thongs.
Yeah.
Things that a lot of people take for granted, but a lot of these young ladies that want to get into the profession of stripping, they can't always afford it right off the bat. So we wanted to start this nonprofit, and it's called
Clothes for Hoes.
It's our way of giving back, because a lot of these girls, they go in there, they get cheap heels, they try to bust down in the splits, they twist their ankles, they get hurt, they can't do the normal techniques that a lot of these strippers that were more fortunate to have the money to get into this profession, smoking a cigarette with your vagina, blowing out a birthday cake with your asshole. These are techniques that, if not done properly, and if you don't have the right equipment, you could really find yourself in a whole heap of trouble. So we wanted to start a nonprofit where we could give back.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that, people that are dedicated to that craft have an equal opportunity no matter what kind of economic background they come from. Just because your father didn't, really give you enough attention doesn't mean that we won't.
Yeah, and I know Stretch is willing to get behind these girls as much as he needs to.
110%.
And I'm right there with you. I will climb all over it. I will be on top of it, face to face. And if I have to dive in head first, it doesn't bother me one bit. I know it's a hard job, but I'm willing to
cover all the bases.
And if it's hard, it's hard. If it's not hard, that's what blowjobs are for.
Yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. I'd like to thank you for joining us on this